What's up, everybody? What's shaking? Yellow. So real quick, I want to make an announcement. We have a winner for our giveaway at KEIBEE. I don't want to butcher the name. I think it's Kaibi, at Kaibi. But yeah, congratulations. You are the winner. You will take home this customized Meilong, UV coated. You can see the magnets working hard there. Yeah, this thing, one of the things about the personalized UV coating too is it only feels better. Like every day you use it, it feels a little more broken in and it just feels a little more right. Like the first day it always has a little bit of like stick or tack to it or whatever, and it's just, that's why I continue to wipe it down with the alcohol, is because it just gets more glassy, more finished. It keeps it from getting, I mean, every time you take off a little bit, it makes that layer even thinner, makes it nice and thin and not all gobbed and big and ugly. And yeah, but anyways, I said I was going to do a custom lube setup for this, and I just wanted to show you guys what I'm going to do here. That way when Mr. At Kaibe, or Keibee, gets his cube, he will know exactly how it's set up. So I'm just going to loosen one side. I've actually already done most of this, so I just want to go over it with you. So what I do is I'll take out one edge piece, maybe two if I want it to be a little more cushy and whatnot, but really just one edge piece. I will take my Angstrom Dignitas and Gravitas, and what I'll do, so they give you your little wand here, and I'm bad, I double dip, I go into both lubes, but I just take a gob of Gravitas, wipe it, you see, into the track. So right where the pieces, right in there, where the pieces would contact with each other, I'll put in a good gob of the Gravitas, which looks like the Vaseline, and then I'll do it on both sides, and I'll do the same thing with the Dignitas. I'll take the white Elmer's glue looking stuff and gob it on that same piece as well, because again, this is going to get distributed throughout your cube, so you don't have to feel like you're putting on a ton of lube. They're like, oh, this is way too much, because that's what's going to lube your entire cube. Like I said, I only take one piece out. So that piece I lube pretty heavily. I'll even put it on some of the extra points, like this here or here, anywhere it's going to touch. And then I'll take a little bit off of the little scoop out of there and just kind of dab it around at contact points throughout the cube, just to try and make sure it's nice and soft. Really, this part, the inner coating or the inner lubing is really more about cushioning the cube, in my opinion. The Dignitas and Gravitas are pretty thick. I can actually show you. It's pretty worn in and distributed already, so I can put on a light amount and let you guys see. So here's your Gravitas, your thick Vaseline looking. And again, I put a much bigger gob usually, but since we're just kind of adding a little bit, I'm just going to put a little bit on there, rub it all around where it's going to contact, so you want it to be smooth. Do the same thing, take a little bit and just dab it around inside anywhere where it's going to make contact. Again, just very little bits. We don't want a lot. This little bit goes a long ways here. Now you're going to open your Dignitas. And if for any reason I got these names backwards, don't hold it against me. I'm pretty sure I'm right on the names, but, you know, mistakes happen. But then again, I'll just take a little bit of our white, do the same thing, administer it to the track of the piece, dab it around inside. You can even rotate your layer. That way you can get, you know, some different spots that maybe you wouldn't have got. And again, just spreading really thin layer of, just like the thinnest layer, just to give that cushioned effect. And so now that our one piece has been lubed, we can go ahead, and so far that's all we're going to do to that piece. Oh, this is upside down. So what we're going to do is, now that that piece is back in, you can also, if you want, a lot of people will put a little bit of lube into their hardware, and that it really can't hurt. It's something that like right here I have some weight 3. Jeez, this is really on there. So like, if you wanted to just make sure that your core feels nice and plush, you can just go ahead and throw, you know, a gob, just one not a big one, but just a little gob into the centerpiece where the hardware is. So let's take off all the center caps here. We're really gonna do this right since this is going out to a winner here. So take off all the center caps. Come on, there we go. Okay, so now we're just gonna do that same exact thing. We're just gonna like start a drip coming out, and just because what'll happen is as the cube sits, it'll just settle around the screw, settle into the springs and into the hardware in there. And again, all I'm doing is I'm literally taking like a drop on the end, and I'm just rubbing it around the screw. So again, it's gonna drop in there, and it's just gonna really lightly cushion the feel of the cube. It's not anything you're gonna notice right away. It's something that you kind of want it to seep in there and slowly cushion the cube over time. Let me wipe off my hands real quick. But so now essentially, I mean, again, we did the core by taking a piece out, and we also did the core by administering it to our actual hardware. So now we can put all of our center caps back on. That's really all you need to do. Like I said, you don't want to lube that very heavily. That's not something like I've actually put the Gravitas, the Vaseline looking lube, into my center hardware, and to lube and get that cushion feel. And it was so thick that I think that's why I bought really that second Tornado V3, is because I had overlubed the first one, and no matter what I did, because it was in the core and in the hardware, I mean, without taking it completely apart, and that's probably the next step I'll do is, I mean, I've taken that thing apart and completely wiped it out, and it still feels overlubed without adding anything back to it. So already we're feeling really nice. Like I said, I'd already added some angstrom in there before just to get it moving, because it just feels so good. After you put that gel coat on, it has this really nice slippy feel. Plus, on the Meilong, it's different than most pieces. There is no like lube distribution pattern. There's no like dragon scale or heart pattern or anything in there to distribute the lube. So it's a very smooth glide, and for some reason, I don't know why, but when you get the gel coat on there, it just makes it that much smoother, even though there's not gel coat inside the cube. Maybe it's a subconscious like thing in your mind or whatever, but yeah. So now that we're getting all this lube broken in, so essentially when you put your angstroms on, you want to really cycle that through the cube, because if you're only going to put lube on one piece, you really got to make sure that you cycled that lube around to all the pieces, at least if you want it to feel right. I mean, you don't have to. But so now that we have this feeling really smooth, I'm going to administer this is the lubes that I hadn't done yet, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. So what I'll do is I will take, this is weight 3 from Cubicle. I've used to use weight 5, and I have some weight 4, but weight 3 is just like the perfect middle ground. Like, you can add it, and if it's a little bit too much, it's not going to just completely slow down your cube like weight 5. Like this, I actually feel confident. So what I do is I'll put, get just a drop coming out the tip. Let's see. Sorry, I just don't want it to come spraying out, but you can see there's a drip coming out now, and I'll just dab that into the corner. Now I'll take the opposite corner, dab it, the same thing, and now you kind of get some momentum, and it just starts coming out of the thing. And so same thing on the bottom, just 2 opposite corners, just 1 drip. I barely dab it around, and that is the difference. Like, where people are like, "Maybe you shouldn't put that in your cube." It's like, I'm only putting 1 drop dabbed around 2 corners. So it's very little, and you might think that might not make a big difference, but with lube, less is more, absolutely. That's actually why I didn't want to over lube this thing. I don't want to make it feels so good right now. I don't want to change it too much. So the last things we're going to do, we have angstrom in our edge piece, which has now been distributed through the cube, and as you can see, it's flying. This thing is fast. So and this is the other thing too, is the lube will also help make sure that corner cutting's on point. So like, here is over 45, boom. The top's a little loose. I do realize that because I had just loosened it for the thing, but I can even fix that. So real quick. Back to how we wanted it, and now let's test our same corner cutting. No difference. I didn't think there would be. I just wanted you guys to see I'm not like pulling your leg or anything. This thing seriously came out like top tier. The magnets are like a little bit stronger than I would probably, if I did it again, I might put light magnets because the Meilong just has such thin plastic. But it's definitely nothing to complain about. I mean, I love this, the way it feels, and the autocomplete is really nice. So anyways, last two lubes are Mystic and FC Calm. And these are, the reason they're last is because they're ones that you just drop into the pieces in the corners. So first I'm going to go with the thicker one. Mystic, even though it is a thicker lube, is extremely fast. That's why I like it. Mystic and Silk I consider to be similar, but Silk is definitely a little slower, but they both give you a very plush feel without slowing down too much. But Mystic is definitely faster. So we'll get our Mystic. Mystic is also glittered. That's just a random, I have no idea why, but it is. So we're going to do one drop into the one corner. Same thing as before. Pick an opposite corner. This is just my technique, but this is how I found to keep from overlubing. So now we have it in two opposite corners. Let's flip it and choose the total opposite corners now, like opposite from the top ones. We're going to put there and there. And now we've essentially used as little lube as possible. And once you rotate the two layers, it's going to distribute that lube around. And now it's going to be almost like you put it in all four corners. Same with this. And I'm just not going to mix it up too much because we still have one more. Now we're going to add FZ Calm. Same thing. I literally just go, this one's a lot thinner, much more watery. So personally, I don't see a huge difference. And I know there's a difference between FC Calm and FC Rush, but they're both very thin, and they both seem to speed up or thin out if you have like too much thick lube in your cube, and you really need to speed it up or thin out that, if you overlubed it. I found that even though FC Calm is meant for slowing your cube down, it's still, because it's thin viscosity, that it works really well. That's why I think a lot of people have agreed that they're similar, and I don't think I would use just FC Calm because I think that would not be plush enough for me. I mean, I really like it to be like really smooth and quiet, and I don't know if you can hear, but it's very quiet. Like, there's pretty much, you can barely hear the noise of the layers moving, and you can hear the noise of the lube squishing, and that's about it. But that's it, you guys. Angstrom, Dignitas, and Gravitas in the edge piece, distributed through the cube by cycling. Then we did weight 3 in just 4 random corners, 2 opposite on top, 2 opposite on bottom. Then we did the same thing with FC Calm and Mystic, 2 drops on top, 2 on bottom, both of those. We cycle all this through the cube, and that's the beauty of like a premium lube setup, is someone that's tested this and has done this multiple times and has found that this is a winning combination. So now when you get this cube, you don't have to do anything. That's the goal. I want you to just enjoy it, especially the winner. He's a big supporter of the channel. So I really try to reward the loyal followers of our channel. It means so much to me that people tune in and spend their time with me multiple times a week and whatnot. So I really want to reward you guys. I wish I could give more people away prizes that win our giveaways, but we'll just do it one at a time. But you guys have a great night. That's everything I have to say about lubing your cube. If you guys have any questions and comments, leave them in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and comment in the future to enter our giveaways. Our next giveaway is going to start, which will be, I promised someone that since we did a customized 3x3, they want to do the 2x2 now. So I have the cube, I have the Meilong, and the magnets and everything come in the mail tomorrow. And I have the UV coating right here from our last project. So Our next project will be customizing a 2x2. It's going to be a budget 2x2, similar as this, where we're going to turn it into a top performing cube. I'm going to have to sadly give away another great project, but it's worth it for you guys. So peace, take care, much love to all you guys, and hopefully y'all have a beautiful night.